Hey guys, welcome back. In this video we're going to be learning how do you set up BetterAuth with Next.js. And so I have a simple Next.js application where I've set up Drizzle ORM as my quote-unquote database provider. But if you're going to be using a different database, it's okay. You can still follow this tutorial. You're just going to have to switch things up a little bit. And I'll tell you when you have to do that. So without any further ado, let's get in. So we're in the BetterAuth website, and what we're going to do first is we're going to be clicking on the Get Started button. And when we're here, we're going to go to the installation section, and we're going to scroll down a little bit. And since I'm using PNPM, I'm going to click on PNPM, and I'm going to copy this command, which will install BetterAuth for us. And I'm just going to wait for it to finish. Not really, though. I'm just going to move on. And the second step that you have to do is you have to create a BetterAuth secret. And so click on this Generate Secret button. Now my secret is not really a secret because you guys can see it, but make sure that it's a secret key that's generated from here. You first to copy this and go to your .env file, and in this file just put your BetterAuth secret. And then we're going to go to the other step, which is setting up a base URL for your BetterAuth instance. So do the same step again, go to .env, paste it, and that's it. And the other step is you're going to be creating a lib folder in your source directory. And if you're not using a source directory, just create that at the root of your file structure, right? And then scroll down a little bit. You're going to be creating a file called auth.ts. And this is where the main BetterAuth instance is going to live. And so just copy this code for now. We're going to change it later, but for now just copy it and paste it here. And the other step we're going to do, and this is the step where you can kind of deviate from my setup, because I'm using Drizzle, so I'm going to use this. But if you're not using Drizzle, for instance, you're using Prisma or you're using MongoDB, use this. But since I'm using Drizzle, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste this right around here. And a few things we have to change here is, and we have everything working here. And then scroll down a little bit. The next step that we're going to do is we're going to be generating the sort of schemas for our users. And so BetterAuth has this very simple tool that you can use, which is it has this command line interface where you just have to paste this, and it will automatically generate the schemas for you. And since I'm using PNPM, I'm just going to do PNPM DLX, BetterAuth CLI generate. Let's just wait for it to generate it. And now it's asking me whether I want this to be generated in this file structure. Well, not really, but you know what, I'm going to change it myself. So now what we have is we have this auth schema.ts, and we're just going to take a quick peek at it. So here there are certain schemas, for instance, the user schema, the session. This is where your session is going to live, your account, your verification. And now what we're going to do is, since I'm using Drizzle, and if you're not, follow your own, a database that you're using, but since I'm using Drizzle, I'm just going to put it in the schemas folder. And the other step is I'm going to go to schema.ts, and I'm going to export everything from, ./schema/auth schema. So I have that ready. And the next step I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be, PNPM run db push. So what this does is this pushes the schemas to the database. Pretty simple. And make sure it's pushed. Yeah, it's pushed. And so the other step is you're going to scroll down, and now you're going to define what authentication methods do you need in your application. For the purpose of this video, we're just going to be using email and password. So scroll down a little bit, put it here, email and password. We're going to enable that. And then scroll down a little bit. Now we're going to create a mount handler. But what you have to do in Next.js is you have to create a API route, which is going to be auth, and in that auth folder you're going to have a catch all route router, and in there you're going to create a route.ts. So there's a little shortcut to create this, and the shortcut is you copy everything from API / and then you go to your app folder, you click on create a file button, and then you paste it here, and boom, you have the route.ts. And just it's pretty simple, copy and paste here, so you have the route set up. And now we're going to be creating a client instance, and this is so that you can, well, use BetterAuth in your client side. And it's pretty simple to do that. Just, you know, create a auth client in the same lib folder. So it's going to be auth, well, that's a typo, auth client.ts. And in this auth client, copy everything that's written here, paste it here, and make sure the base URL of your application is the base URL of your application. And that's it for this video. In the next video, we're going to look into how do you actually use BetterAuth, how do you set up logins, how do you log in a user, how do you sign up a user, how do you check stuff for the user, and all that stuff. So stay tuned, but for this video, it's just setting up BetterAuth with your Next.js application.